front of me on my phone so that I could see it. And if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and interrupt me at any time if I'm going a little too fast or if I'm not explaining something efficiently. But guarantee you, most of the time, if you have a question, someone else has the same question. There are no dumb questions, only the ones that you don't ask. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And that's going to pull us up. Oh, there we are. Oh, come back. There we go. So we're in desk. And the first thing that we're going to do is go into our CBX plus Moxi present tile. So on this class, we're going to do, it is a 201 class. So if you are not quite sure how to create a presentation, or you need a little more help with that, you can reach out to your field marketing specialist, if that's me, or whichever office you're in. We are here to assist you with that as well. But we're going to go into a presentation that we've already created. And we're going to add, we're going to edit, we're going to delete the pages, and we're also going to save as a template. Because the best thing that I found in Moxi so far, and there are many things that I love about this program, but the main thing that I love the most is the ability to go in and tailor this to what I need for my own brand and my own business as an agent. I love that everything's created for me, but I'm also able to go in and create my own materials as well. I can add listing concierge video slideshows. I can add listing property, the single property websites. If I have testimonials on my Agent in Touch website, I'm able to share those as well, using a little tool called an iframe. So everything that we're going to go through, again, we're going to go through it. If it's not clicking, or you need a little more help, or one-on-one even, again, your field marketing specialist is here. We are here to help you guys build your business, and ultimately all of this is to make more money, because who doesn't want to make more money? So for this presentation, I'm just going to go in and create a brand new presentation. We're just going to pretend like the presentation that we're using is the one that I definitely want to use. So we're going to scroll. I have all the things in here. One day we're going to do Hawaii. I keep saying that one day it's going to happen, or maybe Florida. And I'm going to scroll down to MidAtlantic. So if you have all these, again, we apologize, you just have to scroll down. You may only have MidAtlantic. And we'll see that we have the MidAtlantic Coldwell Banker Global Luxury presentation. So if we're going to utilize that, we do have to make sure that the property is a luxury property and meets the threshold for that particular area. And we also have our gold, our platinum, our silver, 12-minute listing presentations for listing concierge. We have the pre-listing presentation, and here we have this seller's presentation. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with that. That is our 60-page. And the reason I'm going to start with that is twofold. I'm going to show us, actually threefold. We're going to see how to add pages to it. And we are going to see how to remove pages from it, and also how to edit pages in between. So I'm just going to label this. You can prepare it for, we know we can prepare it for our client. We can prepare it for a property address. We just want to make sure we have right MLS. If you're on the call and you don't find a listing source, that just means that your MLS number needs to be added into CB Homes admin, and you can contact your field marketing specialist. We're able to help you get that going. So now I'm opening up the presentation, and we're going to go directly to pages. We're going to act like we've already created the presentation. Everything's in there the way that we want it to be. But here we have some issues. So you'll see over on the side, we have strength in numbers, and we have that 3 different times. Now, I don't know about you, but I definitely don't want to be redundant. When I'm sitting in front of my clients, I really always want to know what's in my presentation. If I am not in the DC area, I don't want to show the Washington Monument and the cherry blossoms, as beautiful as this photo is. I'm also getting the exact same information here with a backdrop of the Baltimore Harbor. So we have the inner harbor here, but maybe I'm not doing any business directly in Baltimore. Maybe I'm out in one of the counties. And in that case, I do have a beautiful kitchen shot for strength in numbers. So you might say, well, I don't want all three of these. How do I get rid of the ones that I don't want? So you're just going to click on that particular page. It will bring up the preview over here for you. And you'll see over here, there is a little circle with an X. It does say remove will pop up when you hover over it. Also, there is a more button if I want to view this as a PDF, or I can hit remove here as well if I need that to be a little bit larger. Sometimes for me, I do wear glasses. Sometimes I do prefer it this way. It's a little easier for me to see, and I can hit remove. Now, that page does not disappear forever. If I have deleted that page in error, I will still be able to go in and find it in the library and add it back to my presentation. So don't ever panic if that happens. I've done that before. I've slightly panicked and thought that was not the page I intended to delete. It's not gone forever. It is in the library. And again, you can always add that back. So here I have strength in numbers again. I want to go ahead and just remove that. So as you're going through, my recommendation is always to view the web portion. As you pull that up and go through it, each page in your presentation does have a title. So I have a little notebook next to me when I do this. I am a little old school sometimes. I like to write things down, be able to see them, and I can go through each individual page and I can make sure these pages are something that I want to include in my presentation. You will see here, I don't want to go into a lot of detail, that is another class, but we do have a profile page here. You can see I've renamed mine with my name, but here I have my bio and all of my information. If yours is coming up blank, that just means you have to go to your profile information and complete that. Again, something that your field marketing specialist can help you with if you need it. So as I'm going through, I'm going to see service, excellent, virtual world. If I'm going through and there's something that I don't want included in my particular presentation, if it doesn't fit my narrative, my brand, my business, some people don't like to have 60 pages. They think that it's just too much. You can go through and you can actually remove some of the pages. So again, this strength in numbers, let's say I get here and I'm like, I really don't want to work this into my narrative. It's just too much stuff in here. I can write down strength in numbers and then I'll know where to come back. You'll see again, all of these have different titles. So as you go through, for example, Hamptons International, that may not pertain to the particular listing that I'm trying to win. So I can always remove this page. And again, as you go down, you're going to see a lot of the different tabs here. If there's things again that don't fit for you, some of these I love. I love the e-marketing analytics report. If that's not something that you like, you're able to remove it. Once I go through these and I've determined what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of, I would be able to go through and again, remove the pages that I don't want. So I didn't want that Hamptons International. Let's say I'm not using CBX. If that's not something that you are comfortable with, if it's not something that you can confidently explain to a seller, that's something that by all means you can just take out. It is a very good program. I always highly recommend diving in and learning more about it. But if it's not something you're going to utilize, I definitely don't want any speed bumps or speed humps on my journey when I'm giving my listing presentation. You're also going to see and be very cognizant. This is why we're always going to go through this before we send it out. It has the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum listing concierge packages. Now, I can almost guarantee you, if you sit down with any client and you explain to them that you have different marketing packages that you offer, again, because I don't explain to them that I have a program which my company pays 72% for, I'm going to own these. This is the marketing that I provide. I have a professional photographer, I have a marketing specialist that works for me, and I have a digital marketing team. When you list with me, those are no additional cost to you. I go ahead, it is very expensive, but I go ahead and I pay for those things because we want the best marketing. We want to bring in the best buyers for the best terms and the best price for the seller. Notice I didn't say the highest, I want the best. So I want to make sure that I'm taking out any of these packages that I'm not utilizing, because I can guarantee you that if you were to sit down with me and tell me that I can have bronze, silver, gold, or platinum, I want the best one. So in that case, you're always going to be using the best one. So again, you can go in, let's say I'm going to be using the gold package. I can remove the silver. I can remove the bronze. I can remove the platinum, and they will not be present in my presentation. So they won't even show. It'll just give the good information here for my listing concierge package. Please also note that it doesn't have listing concierge written on it. This is exclusive property marketing that I, the agent, provide. So again, any tools that you use, including Moxi, I never even tell anyone that, I have a program that gives this to me. I sat down and slaved away to put this listing together, this listing presentation. Take all the credit for everything that you're doing, even if you're using a tool. That's just part of being a Coldwell Banker Realty agent. So again, anything that you don't need, let's say I don't need Home Partners of America. And let's say I have taken out all of these things. Now I get down into the comparative market analysis. You're getting down into the CMA portion of this presentation. And I've seen agents do this multiple ways. Some agents like to bring their CMA with them. Some like to incorporate it. You can do the CMA in the MLS and then incorporate that with MLS numbers into your presentation, but there are a lot of pages. It's not really going to give me anything when I click on it because I haven't added a CMA. So if you're not utilizing the CMA portion, you want to remove all of these pages. That said, there's a property summary that is for the selling, the listing that you have for the seller's property. Maybe you don't want to include that. Maybe you don't have a lot of information on that just yet. You are not required to include that. It also prevents your CMA with a listing location map, where they're able to go in and click on the property, see where it is on the map, go in, they can look at all of the photos that the listing agent had uploaded online. They can see the status. The benefit of adding your CMA to your listing presentation is that if I have added 10 properties, and for the sake that I cannot do math well, let's say that 5 of them are active and 5 are sold. If I open this up 2 days from now, I might have 3 under contract and 2 that are active and then 5 that are sold. The properties will always remain the same, but the status will update for you based on MLS data. That said, there are a lot of pages for the CMA. I would pick 1 or 2 that you really, really love. You can always include all of them, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to take out any that I don't need. Again, any pages that I don't need, if I've accidentally taken them out, it's not a problem. I can always add them back in. So let's say I've gone through and I've done, I've taken out my property summary. I've taken out all of my averages and I just start clicking, the phone rings, I go back in and I'm like, oh, shoot, I needed that page. So let's say I'm taking out the listing location map and that was not the page I meant to take out. Have no fear. I'm able to go up here to add page. And I'm able to add from the library. I can also create new. We'll get to that in just a moment. but I can add from the library. And the very first page that's going to bring me to are the report pages. So the very first table of contacts, or the list. Standard page library is available for this presentation type. These are all of my CMA choices. So you can see that even though I have removed a lot of them, I can just go back in and I can say, oh, there's that listing location map that I really needed. And I can hit the add button, and that's just going to add that back into this particular presentation. So you'll see anything that says remove is already included in the presentation. Anything that says add is something that I would have to click on to add to the presentation. I haven't included the net proceeds because I don't know that information just yet, purchase costs, etc. So that's something that maybe you don't have the information and you haven't placed it in the presentation, and then you get the information and you want to include it, you can always go back in and add that. You will see CBX pages. There are 2 pages here. I did remove those because I wasn't utilizing that particular source. You can always go back in and add those later. Any pages that you have already created will remain in the system. I love this so much. If I have a custom profile page, or excuse me, maybe I have a page, that has my logo, has some other information. Maybe I want to incorporate a video of my, an introduction video. Maybe it's a 2-minute video that I have where I'm saying, hi, I'm Angie. This is blah, 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 blah. I can incorporate that as well. And you'll see here, brokerage pages. Please don't be overwhelmed. I promise you there's not really 1,400 for us to use. Mine gives me all of the brokerage pages in the whole company. So those are not all going to pertain to us. When we click on brokerage pages, we're going to see different titles. So this is a national seller universal pages. These can go into any presentation. If you're predominantly looking at a pre-listing, there are 5 universal pages. We have buyer pages, Coldwell Banker Global Luxury pages, miscellaneous, listing concierge. So again, maybe I've gone in and I've taken out some of those pages. If I'm global luxury, I can utilize those. If I'm a normal, I don't want to say normal. If I'm not global luxury, I can use the visionary. And again, here it does give us some information. So the neighborhood announcement is for the silver package. So I am using the gold package. I can go in and add a separate page for every piece of marketing that I am providing. This is with the gold package, so I can add that one. This one is gold. I can add that one. So it's going to give me the information and let me know what is included. As long as it says gold, I can add it in there. And again, you don't have to do this, but if you do want to add the listing concierge pages to your main template, you can do that. And again, here's gold. And then the last one I don't want to add because that's the bronze package. I can go back. They do have breadcrumbs at the top, so that if I want to go back to where I came from, I'm able to do that without hitting the back button necessarily. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back. You'll see in mine, I do have everything from Arizona down to Utah in there. So I do want to look for the Mid-Atlantic region. And yours may not have all these metros. I'm an employee, so they just throw everything in for me. Mid-Atlantic, I'm also going to have some more metro specific pages. So I have the seller, the listing concierge, the global luxury. Again, I can click on that and I can see through. So gold, here we have that professional photography. Again, exclusive marketing I already have included. Mobile brochure, so that's something that we have in our area that other areas may not have. We have that online promotion. So I like that they have this option, because what it means is in some places they have a TV ad that they run. I like it. We're special. We get extra mobile time on the internet, on social media. So it's going to give us anything that is available to us. We can't accidentally add something we don't have. And then Mid-Atlantic seller, we can go in and anything again that you see in here. So I had taken out strength in numbers. If I did that by mistake, you can always go in and click on the title and it's going to show you what that page is. I can guarantee you I have been in this program a million times and there are still times that I look at the title and I'm like, I have no clue what that page is. So if you just click on it, I can easily add it here, or I can go through and I can X off of it and go back to where I started. And again, down on the very, very bottom, we have some national as well, that e-marketing report. But again, you can scroll through and look at any of these pages. If you want to look at them here, you can go through too and just bringing more buyers. Okay, maybe this doesn't pertain to my particular this particular listing. I'm able to take that out again in this section as well. Anything that I hit remove, it will remove from the current presentation that I'm in. Anytime you hit the remove or the add button here, you will see the number of your pages. So if I add that page, it's going to increase to 52. If I remove it, it will decrease to 51. You're always going to be able to tell how many pages you currently have in this particular presentation. Another thing that I have here is Real Vitalize. So I can click on that. I can see what does that look like? Is that something that I want to include? Is that a benefit to this particular seller? There's another one in here as well. Maybe, okay, so they're the same thing. If that's not something, if this property is ready to hit the market and they don't need that, I can actually take that out right here. Again, you'll see that I've gone down now to 50 pages. And once you're done looking through all of the pages that you might need, any other seller pages, I like to go through and just look at everything. Maybe I do want to include something about the home warranty. I can add that as well. Once I'm done adding or subtracting any pages that I'm interested in, I'm able to click right here on pages, and that's going to throw me right back into the presentation. You'll see over here, sometimes it just puts the page at the top. So I'm able to kind of drag that down wherever I need that to be, whatever makes the most sense in my narrative. And then the one thing that I want to do, you guys know I'm a preview person. I'm going to go through when I have everything set in the order the way that I want it. I'm going to hit the view button. I'm going to hit the web button, and I'm going to literally go through for the minute, the 60 seconds it would take me. We're not going to do that now for time's sake, but I can actually go through this entire presentation. Again, I want to make sure everything is exactly the way that I want it to be. This is my presentation, that it fits my narrative. It fits how I want to present it. And then now let's say I have this presentation and this is exactly the way I want it. I've taken out the pages that I don't want. I've added the pages I do want. And this is something that I'm going to use all the time. So I don't want to have to come back into the system and constantly remove those pages and keep tabs of that. So on the very, very bottom of your page list, you're going to find something that says Save as Template. That is our friend. We're going to click that button. And then we have a few options that we can choose from. So I'm going to give it a custom title. This is going to be my gold 12-minute listing presentation. And it is for a seller. So because I already have one of those saved, I'm just going to say gold 12-minute listing. No one else is going to see that title. That title's just going to be for me. I'm going to make it a seller presentation. And here you can see I have a lot of templates, and that's only because I teach this. So you can see I already have one of those. It is a good resource for you that if I've already gone in and created this particular presentation, maybe I just want to go ahead and check that, and it will save over the one that I already created. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and give it a custom title. Maybe this is my long version. and I'm going to go ahead and save it. So what this does is the next time I come into Moxi and I want to use this particular template, I'm not going to go back into this presentation, take everything out, and create new from there. I'm simply going to create a brand new presentation with this template, and then only these pages are going to be present, which means I don't have to go in and take out Hamptons International or by the numbers. They're not going to be present. It's only going to be these pages. Although there is no home button with Moxi, you can click over here in the Moxi Present on the upper left-hand corner, and that's going to take us back to our home screen. Once it does that, we're going to be able to get back into that particular presentation. If I simply click on it from here, it's going to shoot me directly onto the web version, or I can always edit from here for that particular presentation. But let's say now I have another listing coming up. I really want to use this presentation. I'm just going to create new. I'm going to go into seller. I'm going to continue. And here you're going to see I have the option to toggle between my brokerage templates or my templates. So these are templates that I have gone in and created myself. I have saved these templates. So here you'll see different, here's my gold 12-minute listing presentation, different things that I have created along the lines. And again, I have a lot of these just because I do this for a living. This is what I teach. I would definitely recommend having a 12-minute listing presentation created for your bronze, your silver, your gold, your platinum, just so that when you need it, it's there. I've had agents that have said to me, well, I don't really need it just yet. And then all of a sudden someone calls, they want you to come out and do a listing presentation tomorrow, and the panic sets in. If you're like me, I'm very anxious all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So here is that gold 12-minute listing long. That's the one that I just did. It does have the 51 pages, and I can check that box and hit continue. Prepare for, so I'm just going to say Moxi class, and then I want that bright MLS. And when I hit the create button, the only pages that are going to come up in this template are those 51 pages that I had previously selected. So I don't have that Hamptons International. I don't have some of those extra pages that I just didn't want. They didn't fit my narrative. And again, you don't have to have 51 pages. Whatever makes sense for you, what makes sense for your business and your brand, as long as it fits your narrative, that is what you're able to do. But wait, there's more. I am a firm believer that if I'm going to sit with someone and present my listing concierge, I'm going to present it as my own system. Again, I'm going to own it. I have a marketing specialist that I work with one-on-one. I have a professional photographer. I have a digital marketing team. They work for me. Although the marketing does not happen overnight, good marketing never does. So these are all the things that I offer when you list for me. Yeah, and this again adds to your value proposition. But when I'm talking about a single property website, it's one thing to show you that you're going to get a single property website, but what does that mean? What does it look like? Because if I'm telling you, hey, I have this great thing, and you're able to actually see an example of it, that's even better. So I'm able to go into desk. I can go into my listing concierge, and I am going to have to hijack another agent's. Let's see, we'll go into, I know Alicia has some, so we'll go into Alicia's. We were just working on some of hers. And let's say we have Thayer Terrace. So I want to show some of the information again in my listing concierge. I can scroll through my product tracking on the very first page as soon as I open up my order, and I can scroll down and see that I have that website. Once I click on the website, I'm able to easily access that branded website because that's the website that I want to share. Because this says copy link, I can just literally click on branded website. It's going to come up. The website URL is saved to my clipboard. If I really want to double check it, I can open up another tab, paste that in there, and here is that wonderful single property website. Now I want to include that in my Moxi presentation, but I don't want them to leave my presentation to see this information. So I can go into Moxi, excuse me, I can create a page. So I'm going to add another page and I'm going to create new. In creating new, I do want to build a page. If you have a PDF that you've already created, you're able to upload that as well. It will save in your library. You only have to upload it once. But here I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to build a page. So it's going to give me the web view, which is fine. That's how I plan on sending this to my client. But here I have some options. Maybe I just want to include the single property website here. Maybe here I want to have a header, and maybe I want to include one single property website here, another single property website here, and I'm able to utilize more than one of the single property websites that I've already created. So for that purpose, I'm just going to, and it'll work the same in any of these templates. I'm going to go ahead and create this one. So I'm going to click on that. And then it's going to give me options. So here I have text, I can add an image, I can add some video, or I can add some more. And this lovely, very complicated bar is going to come up. I can say, you know, examples of single property websites, because maybe your client just is not sure what a single property website, like, what does that look like? What does that mean? You're able to go in and utilize the bold, the italics, the underline. We can format this text to be a little bit larger. We can play with the font if we want to. We can play with the size of it if we want to. Again, you guys can go in and it's yours. You can create it how you like. Maybe I want a different color. I want to put that cobalt banker blue. I want to put that centered. Again, most of these are the same tabs that you're going to find in Word. The ones on the top might be a little more complicated. We'll get into some of those in just a minute. So here again, I can play with the text if I want. But down here is where I'm able to add a little bit more information. So remember, we went to this particular page. We had copied this particular URL, so it's in our clipboard. We're going to hit the More button. And in doing that, again, we have this crazy panel that comes up. And if we hover, it's going to tell us what these little things are. So this is an image. If I want to insert an image, I can do that. I can embed a YouTube video. We're going to get to that in just a moment. I can insert a YouTube video, Vimeo, a daily motion video. And this fourth one here is called an iframe. So I'm actually going to select this. And what it's going to do is it's going to frame this website in my presentation and give me the option to scroll through this website without ever leaving the presentation. So this right here is going to look really complicated, and we're going to do something. It's going to make it just a little more basic. I'm just going to paste the URL in there. I'm going to enable the scroll bar so that they can scroll through. You can add a frame if you want. You don't have to. I'm not really going to play with the width or the height. I'm just going to let the system do what it's going to do, and I'm going to hit OK. Don't panic if all you see here is iframe. It does take a moment for it to syndicate, for it to come through. Then maybe I want to add a different listing concierge single property website. Because I've chosen this particular template, I can choose to have two of them in there. So I'm going to go back to my listing concierge. Maybe I'm going to pick a different property. So here I'm going to pick Lindale. Again, go into website. I'm going to go in a copy link, branded website. And then here again, I'm going to click the More button. I'm going to find the fourth one over is going to be my iframe. I'm going to paste in that URL, and I'm going to enable the scroll bar. Now you can play with the width. So if I want to make the width very large or the height very large, maybe I don't want it to be as large, I can hit OK. And you'll see here, this is a lot wider than this particular iframe. So I'm also able to go in, take that out if it's too small, and redo it if I need to. You know, you guys can play with this a little bit. I do recommend the 1000 by 500. I just always like to show what it looks like if you forget to put the width and the height in. Enable that scroll bar and hit OK. Now I have the option to literally scroll through in my presentation, and you can see it is a little bit cut off there. So maybe I want to do one of these per page. Maybe I want to play with that iframe. Maybe I want to play with that iframe number there. Again, however you want it to be presented is correct. So let's say, let's do 1000 by 1000, or even let's do just 600 by 600. And then I'm going to enable that scroll bar and hit OK. And you'll see, I just want to make sure they're both the same number so that they're even. But again, I can literally scroll through this in any presentation now. It's going to have all the information that my single property website does. Of course, they can look at this and they don't have to go out into the web and leave my presentation, and I can hit save. Now, when I hit save, it's going to ask me for a name. So this is a single, and be very cognizant of what you're naming it, because the title will appear on the page in your presentation. So I'm just going to say, you know, and you'll see it is going to cut me off eventually. So maybe I'm just going to call it single property websites, examples of single property websites. I always like to enable page editing. Maybe I want to go back and update these at a later date with more recent listings. I can do that, and I'm going to hit save. Once I hit save, I can click off of that, and you'll see here again, I probably should have put some frames in there. My apologies. And because I also want to show you, because I put in different numbers, I have one overlapping the other. So definitely want to make sure that I have good numbers in there for both of them so that they're not doing that. But you can see the functionality is they can scroll through, and you can do this with any website. When I say any website, I do mean any website. You can go in and share your InTouch agent website. Another thing that you're able to do, so if we wanted to add a page, you have testimonials. So I want to create a new page. I want to build a page, and let's just say I'm going to do one page. I want to show off my testimonials. I'm going to find those testimonials. They are on my about page on my website. I have all my testimonials here. So I'm just going to include that URL. I'm just going to copy the URL at the top for my about page. I'm going to go ahead and include more, and look for that iframe, paste that URL in. Maybe in this case, 1000 is okay because it's only one page. I'm going to show my frame border, enable my scroll bars, and I'm going to hit OK. So I probably could have made that a little bit wider, but that's going to pull that up. It will take a moment. Again, don't fret if you see that it just says iframe, because that's going to take it a minute for it to syndicate from that particular website. And then I can save it. And this is my testimonials. This is my testimonials page. View testimonials. These are our client testimonials. So I'm just going to say view testimonials from clients and colleagues. If I could spell today, that would be. And I'm always going to enable editing, even if I never edit, and I'm going to save. So now that I've saved, you're going to see it's going to pull it to my page. It's also giving me my bio here. Featured listings are going to appear, and then here's the testimonial. They're going to be able to click through. I do have a lot of testimonials on my page from agents that I've worked with, but it's going to show that entire thing, and that's a way that I can incorporate all of those testimonials in, even if when I'm sitting with them, I want to kind of blow by these a little bit, but I want them to have access. So if they want to go back later, they want to read through them, they have easy access to those directly in the presentation. Again, we're not going out of the presentation. We're not going somewhere else. If you have a Zillow profile, so we know that Zillow is a little bit different now, operating as a broker, but let's say that you have, over the years, you have really put in a lot of time and effort to your Zillow profile, and you have a lot of excuse me, you have a lot of Zillow reviews. This is an excellent way to go to your profile, get that URL, use the iframe, put everything in there. They can scroll through your Zillow profile without ever going to Zillow, because I do not want them to go to Zillow. And again, I'm just going to X off of that, and you'll see here my testimonials page was added here right after the last one. However, I have my cursor, that's where it is. Maybe I want to bring that up. So that's the other thing that you can do. I can take any of these pages and I can rearrange them any way that I wish to do. Whatever order I want them to be in, I can go ahead. Maybe I want my agent profile, and then I want my testimonials page here. And again, you'll see that they can just go through and they can scroll through my page. Also here, you'll see as we go through, I've talked about that wonderful single property website, and then I've actually shown them, again, my apologies for the overlap there, but showing them those single property websites in their actuality, what they actually look like, to show as an example. The other thing that I'm able to do, I'm offering a property tour. That's my professionally produced video slideshow with the narration. So how do I show an example of that in this particular presentation? I'm able to add my page and I can create new. Again, I want to build that page. If I want to incorporate more than one video, I can. Maybe I want one to a page. And again, I'm going to go to Listing Concierge. I'm going to go to my order management, and I'm going to go down to so this one looks like the professional video is done. Here I have that professional video. I'm going to go ahead again, just like before, copy the link, copy that branded professional video. I am able to add video directly by just clicking on the video button. And because this video is in my Listing Concierge, I do have a URL. I can just paste that here. And let me move my little box. And I can add that in. And here is an example of that video. Maybe I want to include another example as well. I can go into any of my previous orders where I have that professional video slideshow. Again, I'm going to copy the link, click on branded professional video, which will copy that to my clipboard. Simply click the video button, paste that URL in and add. And again, now I have another beautiful example. So not only am I going to tell my seller that I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you a firsthand glimpse. Who would not want one of these videos for their property? It's amazing. I can add another video here if I want to add text. Maybe again, I want to say, examples of video slideshow with professional voiceover narration. I mean, who has that? Really, who does that? HGTV does that. I'm like, HGTV now. You should list with me. So here we have that. We can put that in the middle. Again, if I decide, oh, well, wait, I have more videos, there is a plus button down here. Anytime that you are building or creating a page, and I can add additional videos as well. You'll see you do have the option to partition these as you see fit. If I want one module, if I want two, if I want three, if I want 4 sections, you're able to do that and build these pages any way that you choose. I can add 2 more videos here if I would like, or if I've decided against it, I can just hit the trash can. Just remember, anytime in any of our tools, when you come to delete, most of the time that means forever. So here I've just deleted anything that I created. And then I want to save. And then I'm going to say videos, slideshows, examples of video slideshows. And again, I can't get too wordy here. You're going to see down at the bottom, I have 28 characters used of 60. Here I have 30 characters. I always like to enable, again, maybe I'm going to go in later and update these properties with newer listings, and I'm going to save. Once that is saved, I jumped the gun a little bit. There we go. So once that is saved, you're going to see that. And again, I can go through and view and do my web preview. And because I've made all of those pages editable, I can go in if I don't like the way that they look, and I can look through any way that I want. So here I have my bio and my testimonials. And you'll see right here in the presentation, I'm able to scroll through, click through, and this works the same for Zillow. Maybe this is your Zillow profile. Again, they're not leaving, they're not going to Zillow, but they're able to get all of that good information as we scroll through and we go through. We're looking at just some different, so let's see, where did we put? I think I just passed it. So again, I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to get you a property tour. This is something that I hand over to my digital marketing team. Again, I'm very good at real estate. I am not good sometimes with the marketing stuff. That's why I have professionals. I pay professionals to do it for me. Excuse me, definitely worth it because it does bring in the best buyers for the best terms and the best price. But what does this look like here? Let me show you some examples of what I'm going to provide for your listing and your property. And again, they do play directly from the not sure if I toggled on for you guys to hear it. I can hear it on my end, but they will be able to hear the professional voiceover, see all of the beautiful photos, and see everything that you've done before for another client. And of course, that adds to your value proposition. I'm not just telling them that I'm going to do it, I'm actually doing it for them. And again, you can add some more script in here if you don't want it to be this sparse. Maybe you have some script down here talking about the importance of video. I might want to let them know that it's really important that I'm going to add them to my YouTube channel. Now, if you don't have a YouTube channel, that's okay. Coldwell Banker Realty is going to add them to our At Home in the Mid-Atlantic YouTube channel. And I've heard lots of agents say, who cares? That's really important because Google owns YouTube, which means now this listing is more likely to pop up in a Google search result because it has a YouTube video. That means their listing is more likely to be discovered by a potential buyer who is looking for this type of home. That's all those algorithms in the background. That's how that works. So again, you can add additional videos here. You can add some verbiage. You can make these any which way that you want. The power of this as well. So let's see that I have gone down. I have this video slideshow. Let's go ahead and take that out. I could always save this template and those videos would always pop up. But let's say I've made a different presentation. I can now add the page. I can add from a library and I can go into my pages. Anything that I have ever created, and you'll see I have quite a few, again, because I teach this in here. So you'll see it does depend on what you have named it. That will pop up in the particular slide, and I can click on any of these examples of video slideshow with professional voiceover narration. Okay, I can add that to this particular presentation. I can go through. Maybe I have a testimonials page. Oh, look, I've already created that before. So again, marketing examples. Here we have a single property website. We also have a or a video here. We have the single property website on the left, and then what does it look like on my Agent in Touch website on this side. So you're able really to create these any way that you want. We have some Zillow reviews as well. So I use these for Cecil because I don't have my own Zillow, but you'll see here someone's able to scroll through and get all of the good information for Cecil. He has 21 ratings and reviews, and they can go through and they can look at these exactly the way that they would on Zillow without ever leaving your profile or your presentation. So that's the main thing. And again, anything that you have in here, maybe I've included, here is an example of the flyer that my marketing team will put together for you. Here's just an example of another property that I listed. This is what it's going to look like. You know, we're able to put this in the brochure box in addition to your dot signal rider. Again, I can always add this in as well. And that would be, you know, go back to, click on those pages there. It's going to take me back into those pages. And I can just look through and double check anything that I want, that it's in the right order. Everything is where I want it to be. And again, if I have created this and I've included all of my own pages and I have examples of my single property website or maybe my Zillow reviews, or I've included all of those things, once they're here and they're in the order that I want them to be in, I can go through and I can always hit this save as template. I can give this a custom title. So I'm just going to put in today's date. This is a seller template, and I can go ahead and save this. That just means the next time I want to use all of these pages, including the flyer, including, you know, all of the examples of what I'm going to do, it's already going to be included here for me. So I can just select this particular template. It will have my testimonials, my single property website, my listing concierge video slideshows, flyers. Again, anything that you want to create on your own. If you have a PDF maybe that you have created, there are some great PDFs that you can find in Desk, or maybe you have some brand serve information even that you want to include in here, because again, we can use the photography. We can also use the brand serve tiles in here if it fits our narrative and it's something that we want to utilize. We can include that. Again, adding those pages, creating from scratch. Once it is here, I can go into my library. I can add it from my library. I've saved it. I can utilize it whenever I need to. Or again, like I said, if you have a PDF, very simple, you just click this button, find that on your computer somewhere, and you're able to upload that into the system. And then when you're done, although I did not do it, shame on me, before I saved this template, I'm always going to view and go through the whole thing just to make sure it looks the way that I want it to before I send it out to my clients. So I know that I went a little bit quickly. So I apologize for that. I wanted to give you guys as much good information as possible. Just remember that everything that you've seen here is something that we can always do in a one-on-one appointment. We are here to help you every step of the way. If you can dream it, you can do it. So I always say for anything Coldwell Banker, the products really do give you the capability of branding yourself and promoting your own brand, your own narrative. With that, does anybody have any questions? I don't see any in the chat, which is okay.